Today I'm going to be creating a farm that will allow me to turn iron into diamonds, XP and emeralds in Minecraft. And this farm will also allow me to turn my hundreds of thousands of rotten flesh into emeralds. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to do that? Well, let me show you. Well, right now I'm playing on the GuildRock SMP and right now there are currently 2 iron shops. We have the iron shop inside here, however they are sadly sold out. And we also have a second iron shop over here, however this iron shop is also sold out, sadly. And I need quite a lot of iron for my projects. Plus buying a ton of iron for the many projects I'm using it for can quickly become quite expensive. Now you might be asking, how am I going to get diamonds, XP and emeralds from this? Well, since the current iron shops are sold out, I could obviously sell iron in one of my shops. Now furthermore, I could also use the villagers in the farm and turn this into a trading hall. That way I can get plenty of XP from this farm. And lastly, I can trade stuff for emeralds with the villagers. And as you might know, I have an insane mob farm that produces around 20,000 items an hour, and with this I have well over 20 double chests filled with rotten flesh. And with cleric villagers I could trade all of this rotten flesh for emeralds. So anyways, let's just get out and make an iron farm. Now I have just arrived at one of my beautiful industrial districts and I think I want to set up the iron farm right here. So anyways, let's go! Alright, so as you can see, we have just finished the main structure of this farm. So we have the spawning platform on top right here, which is where the iron golems are going to be spawning. And they're then going to be killed within here, and all our items will be collected in this chest. And we also have plenty of space for villagers to be in, that way we can trade with them. However, speaking of villagers, we have one small problem. I built this industrial district above the ocean, and as you can see, we don't really have any villagers here or nearby. And getting villagers over here is going to be quite difficult because most of the villagers nearby have been raided or occupied by other people. And apparently the closest village to me that hasn't been taken by someone is 1,500 blocks in this direction. Now as you can see, I've built something new right here, and my plan is to have a villager breeder out on that platform. So all I'll have to do is bring about 2 villagers, 1,500 blocks from that direction over to that platform, build a villager breeder, breed up those villagers, and then transport the villagers by railings over to the farm we have over here. So you know what, let's just build a villager breeder right here, head into the nether and get ourselves 2 villagers. Alright, let's hope I don't suffocate somewhere and die. And boom, so we have loaded through. It took surprisingly long and we have gotten to a village, so hopefully, oh yes, there are a couple of villagers there. And boom, so as you can see, after a little bit of work we have gotten 2 villagers over here and we are ready to start breeding them. So all we need to do now is get ourselves a bunch of crops, feed these guys some crops, and then they can start making a bunch of babies that we can then bring over to the farm. So anyways, let's just do that so we can finally start getting some iron.
A few moments later.
So anyways, after a few moments we have built the iron farm and we have filled this up with quite a few villagers, as you can see. And this is amazing because I've been standing AFK here for a bit and getting quite a lot of iron. Let's check it out. Now as you might remember, I was pretty poor on iron. So if we look right here, we have 1 double chest of iron, a second one, and this one is practically full. So then the third one is just about gonna start getting iron. Now that might not be a lot, 2 double chests. However, I have more. I have more iron in here. So as you can see, we have about 7 stacks of iron blocks, which is quite a lot of iron. And in addition to that, we have also gotten quite a lot of emeralds, which was one part of our goal. And as you can see, based on our XP, we have also leveled up quite a bit from trading with these villagers, so that's the second goal unlocked, and now we just have the final one, and that is of course to get diamonds. Alright, so we have arrived over here at a beautiful shopping district. Now it's filling up quite a bit, and the iron shops I believe still haven't been restocked, so we should have plenty of time to figure out where to build this shop and of course set it up. Now over here we have 2 of my already existing shops, my concrete shop and of course my mob drop shop. So I'm thinking of setting up the iron shop somewhere around here. And boom, now that we're done with the outline, I think it's time to get to work here. So anyways, let's start building the actual building. And boom, as you can see, the shop is pretty beautiful, and we have stocked this up. And we have 2 barrels of iron, as you can see, and wow, we've actually sold a little bit so far. So we're selling them for 16 iron blocks for 1 diamond, which I think is pretty fair. And in here we also have blocks. Over here I'm also selling poppy flowers for 2 stacks per diamond, since I also get those from the farm. So yeah, we already made some diamonds, and I think this is pretty good. I've also started detailing the roads here a bit, making a nice little pathway, and of course detail the ground a bit, because Iron Golem is sitting here. He's pretty heavy, so obviously the ground will be a bit muddy, and not that much grass here, obviously. That makes sense, I guess. So yeah, I've tried making this a bit nice. I've added some stuff right here, some iron things, anvils, and just some extra detail things, which I think looks pretty nice. However, a quick thing I want to mention: as I built this, I discovered that a new iron shop has been set up, and apparently this shop does sell iron, and it is quite stocked. And in addition to that, this shop we talked about earlier, which also sells iron, is apparently also stocked now. A bit inconvenient. However, the third shop we have inside here luckily still has no iron. So we're now technically competing with 2 other iron shops. However, I think this is gonna be all good, because everyone needs iron. You use it for so much, especially for people who love building, like the GuildRock members do, as you can see based on this shopping district alone. So yeah, I think this shop is still gonna be quite profitable and hopefully make us a lot of diamonds. So anyways, let me know down below what you think of this, and yeah, I guess that is it for this one. So anyways, as we have finished the iron shop, we are finally done with this shop. So anyways, that is it for this one. Let me know what you think of this shop down in the comments. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.